Whether we're aware of it or not, colour plays an important part in all our everyday lives. It affects all our senses, such as sight, sound, smell, taste, and feelings. Seeing colour can change our moods very quickly, which can result in a positive or negative effect. Colour can sway our thinking, change our actions, and cause reactions. There are three elements of colour: hue, which represents what we commonly call colour; value, the brightness of a colour; saturation is a measurement of colour intensity. There are tints and shades. Tint is where white is added to the hue, shades are where black is added to the hue, and tone is where grey is added to the hue. Newton's theory of colour was created in 1666. Newton placed the first prism in a beam of sunlight and projected the rainbow spectrum, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The colour wheel. It consists of 3 primary colours, 3 secondary colours, and 6 tertiary colours. When you mix a primary with another primary, you get a secondary. When you mix a primary with a secondary, you get a tertiary colour. And this pattern is continued throughout the wheel, resulting in 12 hues. The electromagnetic wave enters the eye. The wavelengths hit the back of the eye, the retina, where there are photoreceptors called rods and cones, which once simulated send a message via the optic nerve to the brain, and image is seen. The Astronomer's Dream was a French black and white silent film that was directed by Georges Méliès and lasted for 3 minutes. Hand-tinted films were the first attempt at colour, but proved to be very time-consuming to produce and expensive, and therefore you saw an increase in the number of black and white films produced. Laughing Gas was a short, silent black and white film which ran for a total of 16 minutes and starred none other than Charlie Chaplin himself. The early black and white films used a neutral palette of tints and shades of grey along with the black and white to add to the effect and drama. This effect is continued in the 1960s Psycho, which presents the viewer with suspense and a feeling of horror. Monochrome. Monochromatic colours are all the colours, tints, tones, and shades of a single hue. This scheme always looks balanced and visually appealing. Due to the absence of other colours, the viewer is left to focus on the differing values and saturation. This makes for a great single object shot or a dramatic atmospheric scene. In the movie Traffic, the blue tint symbolises intellect, calmness, and stability, whereas the orange tint symbolises the heat of the environment and joy and happiness. The complementary colour scheme is made up of 2 colours that are opposite each other on the colour wheel. The colours naturally go together. It is one of the most popular colour palettes used in film, with the colours accentuating each other. In blockbuster movies, we often see blue and orange, as these are colours that naturally go well together and make a scene stand out to the eye. In the movie Vertigo, we see the colours green and red, the innocence of John and the dangers of Madeline. Red is often used to show the dangers of a character or the dangers of the situation. Analogous comprises of a series of colours that are adjacent to each other on the colour wheel. This type of scheme is often found in nature and is harmonious and pleasing to the eye. This colour scheme is great for creating a calm, comfortable and peaceful mood. In Beauty and the Beast, pink symbolises feminine and beauty, and the blue for truth and tranquility. In Life of Pi, warm hues of yellow for the sun. Split complementary. This is a colour plus the 2 colours either side of its complementary colour. This is useful for extending your palette when 2 colours aren't enough, or to create a more joyous mood. This palette has a strong visual contrast. However, this isn't always the case, as some directors choose to reduce the saturation of the hue to place emphasis on another part of the frame. Triadic. 3 colours spaces equally around the colour wheel. the triadic scheme is not as contrasting as the complementary scheme. It is best to use one colour as a dominant, a second colour to support, and the third colour as an accent. It can however offer high contrast while retaining balance and harmony. Even though the colour scheme is applied in this scene, it is not noticeable as your attention is diverted to one of the main protagonists in the film. In Only God Forgives, palette of yellow and blue and red can be seen. Tetriadic. This is the richest of all the schemes because it uses 4 colours arranged from 2 complementary colour pairs. This scheme is hard to harmonise. If all 4 hues are used in equal amounts, the scheme may look unbalanced. However, the tetriadic scheme offers more colour variety than any other scheme. This can be done in live action and animated movies. Discordance is a deliberate choice by the director to divert from the balanced film colour schemes to refocus attention. Discordant colours can help a character, detail, or moment stand out from the rest of the film. In The Sixth Sense, red symbolises something touched by someone who is dead. In Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, the green lightsaber symbolises the good of a character, whereas the red lightsaber symbolises their evil. Colour as a transitional device, used to signal importance and dramatic changes within the storyline, or evoke a different time or place. In The Matrix, there is a subtle blue tint applied, showing they're in the real world, but when they go into the Matrix, a green tint replaces the blue, symbolising they are not in the real world anymore, that they are in the digital world of the Matrix. Colour transitions are often used in films when representing life and death. In Pan's Labyrinth, warm orange and red hues in the fantasy worlds, and dark subdued greys, black and blue to denote her unhappy reality and ultimate death. Film is an artistic medium. Artworks created using colour involve us by engaging our senses, feelings, and mind so that our attention is focused and interest is alerted. While watching a film, the viewer picks up on cues, recalls information, and anticipates what will happen next. The film shapes our expectations by summoning up curiosity, suspense, surprise, and other emotions. In the digital era, the colour palette has the potential to be endless, with the possibility of increasing the viewer's experience to an amazing, mind-blowing dimension. I hope after watching my short documentary, you're able to look at films through a fresh pair of eyes and are able to witness the creativity and genius of the cinematographers.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.